Right, so Manchester United are finally out of the Champions League. Their Champions League campaign has ended rather abruptly in Leipzig because they did lose 3-2 in RB Leipzig. And yeah, they're now going to be playing farmers from the back arse of Kazakhstan and Ukraine again for the end of the season. So yeah, lovely scenes. As you can see, I've got my Leipzig jersey out and ready for this video. And yeah, let's get into it. Now, to be honest, I just did see this win coming for Leipzig, to be honest, because the fact that they went to Old Trafford earlier on in the Champions League campaign and got spanked 5-0, they were going to be up for this game. They needed to win. Obviously, a draw would have sent United through. And in the end, they got a performance, well, for the first 80 minutes anyway, because there was nervy times towards the last few minutes when United did get back into the game to go 3-2, and it was looking really nervy from a Leipzig point of view, but overall they did get the job done just about, and they are through to the next round of the Champions League. And to be honest, I have no idea what the hell Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was doing in terms of the starting 11. I mean, the fact that they went 3 at the back against Leipzig, who are one of the most predominant teams in Europe at going the 3 at the back, they really played right into Leipzig's hands, and it just was absolutely confusing why they didn't just go 4 at the back like they did when they beat Leipzig 5-0 at Old Trafford. So I don't know why they didn't stick to that system, but there you go. I think Ole was just trying to be too smart, and he was hoping that, you know, if United went and won in Leipzig with that 3 at the back system, that everyone would be going, oh, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer masterclass again, and you know, I just don't understand why he did that, to be honest. He should have just stuck with the 4 at the back. And one of the main reasons why they struggled so much is because, first of all, you cannot play Aaron Wan-Bissaka as the wing back, because I'm sorry, whatever you guys think, he just cannot attack. He's one of the worst attacking right backs I think I've ever seen, and Angelino just completely took the piss out of him down that left hand side. Now, obviously I didn't watch the game, but from what I saw and what I heard, Angelino was absolutely ripping that left hand side, and there's no surprise really, because when you have Wan-Bissaka playing further up the pitch, it's never going to go right, because Wan-Bissaka is an extremely good defender, but he's completely the opposite going forward, because yeah, as I said to you guys, he's just absolutely horrific going forward, so I don't think that was ever going to work out, if I'm honest. And yeah, overall, that is why I firmly believe that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not the man for this Manchester United job, and of course that's nothing new really, because we all know that for absolutely ages now, that Ole is just, he's way out of his depth in this United job, if I'm honest, because they've been a mixed bag for way too long. And as I keep saying over the course of this channel in the last 2 or 3 weeks, I mean, one day United could go and be absolutely blistering and put 4 or 5 past the team like they did to Leipzig at Old Trafford early on in the Champions League campaign, and then they can go out and be absolutely dire like they were tonight for the most part of the game, and in the end they could have lost 3-0 if they didn't get 2 goals back in the end. And that is why United are just going absolutely nowhere under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, bear in mind, I actually do think Solskjaer has done one thing right, and that is build a squad that is capable of competing under the next manager, which is probably likely going to be Mauricio Pochettino. And I think Solskjaer has laid some very good foundations in terms of the squad, in terms of, like, you know, what Pochettino or the next manager that comes into United can build with, and that is what I think he's done very, very well and deserves credit for. But this trend at United is never going to change once Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is manager of Manchester United, because I've said for ages now, he's not a tactically good manager, he's really just a man manager that, you know, gets the best out of these players emotionally. And yeah, this United team under Solskjaer are just so unpredictable, because, you know, I'm doing a series on my channel if you want to go and check that out, where I do predict the weekend's Premier League games every weekend, and honestly, United games are the hardest to predict, because you just don't know what United team is going to show up. And normally with United as well this season, I mean, there's been so many occasions, I think you guys can vouch for me on this one, where you've watched United and you just think they just never really play really, really well. I've not seen one United game this season out of my memory that you can actually walk off the pitch and go, they were actually very, very good today, because there's not many occasions where you can actually say that. Most of the wins this season have been from absolutely dire performances where they just have a few moments of magic in the second half, like against Southampton and against West Ham in the Premier League in their last 2 games. And overall, I just think United are in an absolute shambles, even though they actually are doing pretty well if you look at the results they've been getting and stuff like that. And obviously, I'm not going to deny that football is a results game, but it's just not promising signs whatsoever for Manchester United and from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coaching standpoint. And overall, I mean, Maguire apparently was absolutely shocking again tonight. I mean, the fact that they paid £80 million for him, and I know that's not fully Ole's fault. Another thing about United is as well, they're heavily reliant on Bruno Fernandes, who's just been absolutely carrying them ever since he came in January. And I firmly believe if he didn't come in January of last season, United would not have got top 4 by any means, and they'd probably be around mid-table at this moment in time. But yeah, the moral of the story, Manchester United are knocked out of the Champions League, which of course, as I said, I did see coming, but I do think they'll do relatively okay in the Europa League, because, you know, they have really no choice really. They're playing against teams that are going to be a lot weaker than them. Shall we move on to another game, and that is Istanbul Basaksehir versus Paris Saint-Germain. Just absolutely extraordinary scenes, horrific scenes I should probably say, where both sets of players had to walk off the pitch due to a racist remark apparently said towards Demba Ba by the 4th official in the game, which is just absolute madness. And I think in this particular instance, I think both sets of players and coaching staff and whoever it was to actually decide to walk off the pitch were absolutely spot on, because you can bet your bottom dollar that 4th official or the referee that made the comment apparently will not get away with that whatsoever, because of course abandoning the game doesn't really suit UEFA whatsoever. I mean, it's very, very bad from a UEFA standpoint, so they're going to absolutely clamp down on these officials, hopefully anyway, and make sure this never happens again. So yeah, fair play to both sets of players and coaching staff who decided to walk off. On to another game, of course, that was taking the headlines tonight, and that is the Messi versus Ronaldo derby, Barcelona versus Juventus. Now, I didn't really get to watch that much of it, but from what I've saw of it, I mean, Juventus made Barcelona just look extremely average. I mean, they won 3-0 in the end at the Nou Camp as well, and it's so so sad to see what's happened to this Barcelona team, if I'm being perfectly honest. I mean, they've been absolutely ruined from the ground up. What this board have done to them, I mean, the quality of players they have now is just absolutely just horrific, if I'm being perfectly honest. They look like an average team. They still try and play the same brand of football, but it's just not the same without the players like Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, David Villa, Pedro, etc. And yeah, it's only sad to see because this is not the Barcelona team I grew up enjoying watching back in, you know, the early 2010s with the likes of, as I said, those players and under Pep Guardiola, where they played absolutely blistering football, and 100% they're one of the best teams to watch in the history of football. And I think it's really, really sad to see this Barcelona team just crumble the way they have, and they just look so average, as I said, at the moment. But yeah, that is where we're going to end this video now. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like. No doubt I'll be getting a few dislikes from salty Manchester United fans who cannot accept the fact that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and themselves as a whole have just been not good enough in the Champions League this season, despite that win against Paris Saint-Germain. Which if you could leave a like, that'd be very much appreciated. 15 likes as per usual would be massively appreciated. Also make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are looking to hit 800 subscribers as soon as we possibly can. So yeah, if you could subscribe, it costs you absolutely nothing and makes my day. So win-win situation there. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. See ya.